Just a brief moment today. We just celebrated the 4th of July, or I guess we will tomorrow. By the time this airs, it'll be tomorrow. This will be on the 3rd of July. And tomorrow is a day where we celebrate the liberty that we have in this nation, the freedoms that we've come to know, and certainly much to be thankful for, and certainly should be appreciative of all the people that have fought to make sure that these freedoms have been left for us, because they've been at great risk often throughout history, and we're certainly thankful for all of that. But I want you to take a moment and just think about the fact that God, when the Word of God says in Psalm 62:5 that our expectation, I think the NAS says hope. The word means that this is what we're believing, what we're hoping in. We can't see it, but our expectation comes from Him. Now, I just want you to take a moment and think about what it would have been like if everyone on this earth that Jesus Christ knew when He walked on this earth would have had to live up to His expectations. It would almost be comical, because no one could. In fact, I think it must have been one of the things, as I've said, I loved about the Chosen series. It had nothing to do with, the fact that everything in it is strictly what was there in the Word, because it can't be. There's a lot of embellishment that has to be a part of this, but the humanity of Christ, and how it must have been at times just kind of hilarious for Him, knowing what He knew and being who He was and understanding the heart and the thoughts of men, to just be with those people like, Peter, and we've been fishing all night. Well, just try it. Just cast your net on the right side of the boat. And he must have had a laugh in his heart, because he understood that, that in that moment, how that would have just blown him away. There's so many times that, we think of Christ oftentimes as we read in the Bible, just an incredibly serious person. It's because I don't understand, how can I say it, the humor of the Hebrew language or the Aramaic, if it was written in Aramaic, which many people believe that it might have been during that period of time, or even in the Koine Greek that we have today. I don't understand all that, but you can almost see the humanity of Christ in it. Oh, He must have, I know He was frustrated with the unbelief of those people that were sitting around in Mark 3 when the guy had the withered hand. I know that was frustrating, but at the same time, knowing what they were thinking, it must have been kind of amusing to Him to say, why don't you just stretch forth your hand? Or, when He forgives the sins of the person that's lowered down in the basket from the roof, and they're thinking, this is blasphemy, and He says, well, what's easier? I mean, it must have been just kind of hilarious. But just think for a moment, had He had expectations and we would have had to live up to them? No one. How impersonal would that have been? And do you want to know what destroys our relationships with others? Is our expectations of them. Christ believed something for us. He believed something for us. He believed in what He would do. He believed in God's faithfulness, the Father's plan, and the faithfulness of the Father for us. And that was the overarching, or the primary aspect of His relationship to everyone. It didn't matter whether it was a Pharisee or a scribe or a lawyer. It didn't matter whether it was a disciple or a harlot. That was his primary belief. His expectation was fixed on that. Now, as Christians, we can destroy a lot of relationships if those relationships are based on our expectations of what people should be and do. And we take our eyes off of what we should be doing, which is communicating a bigger plan than what you or either you or I could expect for anyone. Much bigger. Our expectations must be from Him for people. If you want to see bitter people, note those people that have expectations for people around them, how they should or shouldn't be, or what they should or shouldn't do, and what they did or didn't do. In other words, their whole relationship is fixated on an expectation of what people should be rather than an expectation that comes from God. Let's have an expectation for all those troublesome people in our life, many of them on a personal level, that comes from God. It might just change the way we think. You might just find that to the pure, all things are pure. It's just easier to think that way. Till next time, friends, God bless you.